for context, before we look at this one, do you remember someone saying something along the lines of our made-up internet money is better than their made-up internet money? If only someone made a certificate of deposit online on the blockchain, or a new layer 1 system, something like a Richard Heart ecosphere, for example. Well, have a listen to this and tell me what you all think.
The Bank of China told their depositors that their savings accounts are now investment products and can no longer be withdrawn. And to stop the people from trying to withdraw their money, the CCP deployed tanks. Banks all over the world are imploding. And within this great reset, there is great opportunity for mankind, so long as we recognize who the real perpetrators are. The word apocalypse simply means the lifting of the veil, a revelation of truth, or in modern terms, the Great Awakening. Mankind is now awakening to the fact that we have been lied to and exploited as chattel for, at the very least, our entire lifetimes. And one of the most valuable truths to be gleaned from the Great Awakening, as far as human civilization is concerned, is who is responsible. It's crucial to identify who is responsible so that we can stop it from happening again, because the enemy likes to hide. There is nothing new under the sun, and all we have to do is follow the money, which leads us directly to the Federal Reserve banking system and their conglomerate of associates known as the big banks. We can trace the big banks back to Mayer Rothschild, who famously said, "Give me control of a nation's money supply, and I care not who makes its laws." And he was likely speaking about the usury laws that for centuries prevented people from charging interest on loans because it was considered theft. If all men are created equal, then the banks should be acting more like a service industry, not profiting off other people's debt. But Mayer Rothschild was able to bypass these usury laws because the Rothschild banking dynasty was merely a front for the royal bloodlines. As the old world order adapted their schemes for the Industrial Revolution, the Rothschild banking dynasty began running central banks for kings throughout Europe. And in America, they partnered with the Morgans to create the Federal Reserve banking system, which would normalize usury and debt for generations to come. For millennia, usury was considered immoral and denounced by major religions and philosophers. But today, it's completely normal in the West to be broken by debt and at the same time considered successful. But this is new. Many places still see usury as a crime against humanity. Libya had gone from one of the poorest countries to the richest in Africa by creating its own bank backed by gold and silver, and no usury. By 2011, the people of Libya were beginning to know real wealth, and Gaddafi was about to spread this model throughout all of Africa. But the old world order had other plans, and so Libya was looted and destroyed. The big banks and their royal inbred masters are responsible for the entire clown show we are seeing today. The Rockefeller family's Big Pharma engineered the COVID pandemic as a black swan event to collapse the world economy so that the old world order can discreetly become the new world order. They are orchestrating the radical LGBTQ agenda as a smokescreen to confuse you, while using Joe Biden and the United Nations 2030 agenda as scapegoats for the collapse of the US dollar. Because these inbred crooks plan on staying in power, and they need someone else to blame when they come to our rescue with a new financial system. Fortunately, this great awakening has revealed that we no longer need the old world order's big banks. We now have over a decade of cryptocurrency stress testing that proves we don't need centralized banking. And we have centuries of stress testing that prove the stability of gold and silver. The New World Order is just the old world order, a cabal of parasite crime families feeding off of humanity. And if we fail to take control of our own destiny now, then the New World Order will succeed and mankind will be eradicated. The choice is ours, and there won't be a second chance. Reporting for InfoWars, this is Greg Reese.
That was some fire right there. Fire. Now, how can they keep us all entertained and distracted whilst the global awakening takes place? It would be cool to re-edit that video and drop in the Hex logo instead of the Bitcoin logo, but generally speaking, cryptocurrencies was mentioned. What are we seeing now? We're seeing a potential importation, export of fighter jets into Ukraine, military-industrial complex. We're seeing shortages because of the ongoing medical conditions that we've been placed under. We can see a radical plan for Trump's second term. Whether or not that means he's running, who knows? In the cryptocurrency space, we've seen ex-Coinbase manager charged in cryptocurrency insider trading. So apparently the system, the model that they were trying to use was not cryptocurrency. It was a farce. And what could possibly go wrong? You know, you have Huawei equipment could disrupt US nuclear arsenal communications. Go figure. And on top of that, we've got, truces, and the export grain deal will, free up the grain so the world can be fed. Of course, later on, Russia then hits the Black Sea port in Odessa. That is the world as we know it currently, but remember, if you know about Hex, if you know about Pulse Chain, if you know about the Richard Heart ecosphere, you might fare well in this upcoming disaster. Signing out.